The issue that the customer was having at the mower was running intermittently. It would run for a little bit and then die, then kind of run and then die. And then after a while, it just stopped running altogether. I previously diagnosed this mower that it was the coil. If you wanted to know how to fault find and diagnose a bad coil, you can check out this video that I've done before on this same mower diagnosing that issue. But in today's video, I'm just going to show you how to replace the coil. We've got our parts here. I went down to, I ordered this from Honda, it took about a week to come in. There's the old coil that was off it, and I've matched that up 1 for 1. That's a dead match, which is great. Good people at Honda sorted me out. And we've also got a set of blades. This mower is pretty cool. It has like a 2-blade system, so you don't get that real often either. First thing we need to do is get the top off the mower, and so we can expose where the coil is, expose the flywheel. So that's an M10. I'm just going to get these 3 screws off to start. On this unit, the fuel tank is incorporated. This is the fuel line coming down from the tank. The valve's currently off. What you could do is drain all the fuel and just pop this hose off, but you know, to save time and effort and mess, we can clamp that off with a set of hose clamps. Then we can come in and take this little clip off. There we go. And we're just going to be very careful. I'm actually just going to hold the valve back that way with the pliers and pry it this way, because we're going to snap that little valve if we're not careful. There we go. Perfect. A little bit of fuel there, but other than that, we're good to go. Now this whole unit should just lift away. There we go. Perfect. This is the coil here. The way this works, when this magnet comes past the coil, that gives it the energy to generate the spark, or to excite to create the spark. The spark then travels down here at the right time and into your spark plug. So this is another one off another mower that I had on here for testing. We're going to take this one off and put the good one back on. So first steps are spark plug lead off. Then we need to take, this is the ground cable, so that when you push the mower to off, that's what creates the ground and sends the spark to the chassis, not to the spark plug. Now, from what I know about this from last time is, this is not a very good nut, if you will, on the top of this stud. And it was actually quite hard to find something that was going to undo this without stripping it. This is the 6-sided socket, whereas the 12-sided socket, it was just wanted to strip. So a bit of a trap for young players there. We're going to just also use the ratchet to get that off, so just to make sure we're not going to strip it. So it's coming off easy because I had it off before. Off we come with that one. Put that aside, and then we need, is this M10? Yep. That one can come straight out. And essentially on this mower, it's as simple as that. We're just going to turn the magnet out of the way so it doesn't get in where we need to be. Now, if we had a bit more time, and we would go ahead and clean this whole mower down, but actually the fins, all of the fins are in really good shape. I've cleaned them out earlier. So that was the one that I had in for testing. This was the one that was originally out of it. They just happened to be very similar. I was like, okay, I'll just test to see if that works. This is the new one. So we've got our old one and our new one, and it's just gonna bolt straight up there, absolutely identical, which is great. So we can go ahead and just put our coil straight on, okay? Make sure that that is in the right orientation to be over here. So that's how that would go. Bolts in. And our stud in here. It's like clever design. The stud is part of the hold down for the coil. You'll be really careful not to strip these because they're going into an aluminium head. So we're just going to wind that in by hand first. Now we can just gently nip this up. So we'll nip that up, and then we'll back it off so that the coil can move. So backed it off a little bit more. Excellent. Just do it. We're just going to do it with the socket. We're not going to do it with the gun. Again, I nip it up and then back it off so that it can move. Okay, so it's like kind of tight, but it can just slide on those elongations. And then we're going to set the gap. The gap is the distance between the coil, the magnet on the flywheel, or the flywheel itself, and the coil. When I'm setting the gap, there's a whole heap of specs and stuff, you can look those up, but as a general rule, I use 0.1 3 of a mil. That's just because this feeler gauge set I've got, it's quite a robust feeler gauge, and it doesn't bend and it doesn't crease. So that's 5/1000ths of an inch. Okay, so that's for those our imperial friends. 0.13 millimeters feeler gauge, and we're gonna need to put that in between the magnet or the flywheel and where it's going to be operating. So you can see there the magnet coming around. So what we'll do is we'll get a nice piece of flywheel. So what we've got here is the feeler gauge in between the flywheel and the coil on one side, and we're just going to nip this side up. So normally you can get the feeler gauge will be long enough to go on both sides, across both at the same time. So now I can just get that out. Now I'm just going to do this side. So, and I'm going to push that, I'm pushing that hard up against the flywheel. Upside down this joint. And I'm just going to go, now I'm going pretty tight now because I'm getting confident that that's close. I'm going to go back to this side to see if, yep, that's pretty good as well. I'm just going to continue on that journey of checking either side and torquing it down. There is obviously a torque spec for these, but you know, just go relatively tight. It's not going to move on you. So there, excellent. And now I can come back and nip this one up. Again, just being careful, we're going into an aluminium head there. Right, and so now I can run a test. I can spin that around. I can't hear anything. Just wait for it to roll over the compression there. Now I'm coming past the magnet. Oh, beautiful. So there's a perfect gap in there, and I can do it by testing. I can test with my feeler gauge that gap's there. Should be kind of snug to getting in, but it shouldn't be tight. There we go. We've set our gap. We can put our spark plug lead back on. Just make sure that that's all good in there. Oh, click, nice, that's excellent. And we'll put our earth lead back on. Just gonna make sure that it's traveling in the right direction. Yeah, look, there's a little spot for it to sit just up in under there. And on it goes. Check that as well. Yep, that's all good. On she goes, there we go. That is our new coil reinstalled. Happy days. So now we can come back on with our shroud and the fuel tank combo. Just gonna send that back in there. Get that settled on there nicely. And then we're just straight back onto that fuel barb. Again, just being very gentle. That's only a tiny little plastic barb, and you do not want to have to replace that. Now we're going to put this back on. There we go. Perfect. Back on with our pull cord. Well, let's get that lined up. Make sure it's engaged. We've got our 3 nuts here. Well, yeah. New coil, sorted, done. A little bit of fuel, turn the fuel on. We're ready for a start. These units have an automatic choke, so no need to choke it. Oh, perfect.